listen. And I'm just trying to get it clear in my mind
Right,
what that would mean in that particular case. I'm gathering that it's like listening to see how much love you're putting into your interactions with the child. Is that what we're?
Yes, it is. It is coming from love. You see, the moment this woman realized that I love my child, that in itself starts the listening, because sometimes we take things for granted. Oh, I love my husband. Of course I do. I've been living with him for so many years, you see. But the point is, no, feel it now. What is the love that you're feeling? You see, the love. Yeah, I love him. See, and the moment you do that, you use that for the listening point. So when you are with the child and the child is crying, and the thing that comes to our mind, oh, I could kill him. Why don't I sell him or give him to some, or lock him up or get rid of him? You see, at the moment we do not realize we love the child. We become so caught in our egoic control that we totally confound. You know what I mean? We don't understand what is happening. But the moment you realize, no, despite whatever he's doing, he's a part of me. I love the child. Okay, that puts you in a listening mood. That puts you in a receptive, open state. You see? And then you listen to the child. So when the child is crying, listen to it not as something that's annoying you personally, but if it's a whine, it's coming from a need that is not being met at the moment. You see? And listen to that need. What is it he could be wanting at the moment? And then don't try to figure it out, because if you try to figure it out, then you go into reading books and listening to advice. No, your heart knows. Okay, this is one thing that we do not understand. You see, your heart knows. Just listen, and when you begin to listen, it will come to you. Because by wanting to listen, you're activating your higher self. There's no higher or lower; it's all higher. But just for the sake of explaining, you see, the moment you are receptive, you see, that's one thing maybe I didn't say. The moment you want to listen, you're activating God. Okay? You're activating the silence inside you to listen. You put yourself in a state of receptivity, of knowing. That's why prayer is so beautiful, because prayer puts us in a receptive state, hands together. And I'm listening, you see, I'm being at the moment. And you're open. You're open to the universe. You're open to the immensity that you are. And that very openness itself is called listening. And so the child is crying, whining, and there's a part of you that just wants to scream. Just stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and just listen. And then something starts to trigger. Maybe the child itself will say it indirectly. There is a need that is not satisfied in the child, and if you keep controlling him and disciplining him, the child is going to become a mess. You see, later on. Because there are some things that are not being met. And we as children know that. Many of our needs were unsatisfied by unlistening parents. They didn't mean to do it, but maybe they ignored us. Maybe they didn't give us the love we wanted. Maybe we were even abandoned. They didn't mean to do it. Maybe they thought it was good for us, because ignorance does many things that are not healthy. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of listening. You put yourself in a state of openness, receptivity, heartfelt knowing. And then the action comes out of itself. You reach out. You see? You're not trying to reach out. You reach out because it's an automatic openness of your heart to reach out. Just like somebody dying and somebody asks me, well, how do I talk to them? What do I do? My gosh, stop being so self-conscious. Just think about that person. You're a part of that person. Maybe see yourself dying at the moment, and create that bridge of listening, and that very listening will make you act in such a way that you might not have planned it. Maybe you touch them. Maybe you say words that come from your heart. You see? You don't need to plan. The being will act through you when you listen. And that's what non-doing is. So if you ever hear it again in spiritual terms, be a non-doer, you're not a doer, this is what it means. You see? Because some people think, oh, non-doing, therefore he sits still like this all day long. Sometimes they can be very, very active. You see? But that activity is not coming from self, the limited self, egoic self. It's coming from that source, from that being that they really are. Yeah. Mm. So thank you for asking it too, because I feel that it needed to go into. Yeah. And listening is, you see, there are many levels of listening. Physical people listen physically. So we talk about love. What does a physical person think? Immediately making love, sex. You see, it's inevitable. Emotional person listening to the word love, immediately. Emotional security, safety, comfort, you know, closeness. These things are all love, but they're just expressions of love, not love itself. You see? And then you begin to see deeper and deeper as you listen. Love itself is. You cannot define it, you cannot see it, you cannot be it. It is nothingness itself. It is the very thing you fear most. It is the emptiness itself. It is the great void itself. You see? It is just being. But then, the great void, the great nothingness is everything anyway. You see? Because nothing is nothing. Everything and nothing are both the same. Did you know that? The moment something is completely nothing, it has to be everything. Because the yin, take it all away, it becomes yang. Yang, take it all away, it becomes yin. The two are inseparable, so they're not really in conflict, they're not really opposites, they are complementary, they're one and the same. So that's what love is. See? And that's why it's so beautiful to meet your emptiness, to plunge into the great void of being, because the moment you do that, you're actually entering love. You know? Okay. Namaste.